19号，2016年，清华新药创制中心 TPIC 视频采访问题，管春良教授。So, Dr. Guan, in your view, what is the emerging trends in global biopharma R&D innovation?
So the pharmaceutical industry and the drug development in the last decade or so really has a dramatic change, and I think the future change will be even more dramatic. There are a few key points which we can see what is happening. One is the precision medicine, which is specific target-based drug development, which requires each drug target a specific defects in the patients. Of course, that's make it more efficient, less side effect. So that's clearly is one of the direction. Now, along with the precision medicine, because the drug is target-based, we obviously need to know what the target change happened. So accompanied with that is the so-called companion diagnosis is very important. Now, besides to the traditional small molecule chemical small molecule based drug, which obviously clearly is the main part in the drug development, there's increasing use of biologics, use bigger molecules, such as antibodies for drug development. This is one of the trend change. Now, along with this rapid change in the research and the development landscape, pharmaceutical companies are decreasing their own in-house R&D, particularly in research part. They often form partnership with academic institutions or smaller biotech companies. This clearly is another direction which is happening. Now, besides many of the conventional drugs which is used to relieve sufferers or symptoms or cure disease, actually our demand for drug even increase. There's new drugs which are used to increase quality of life, such as like a Viagra or Botox, which is really to increase the quality of life. So now I know the cancer drug development a little bit more familiar. If I use that examples, clearly there's several things is happening. One, as I said, precision medicine based on genetic mutations. The second one is a combination of different drugs, which is because cancer is often due to mutation of multiple genes, so make it more efficient and less likely to develop drug resistance. And very excitingly, recently, immunotherapy use antibody to treat cancer disease. And one of the remarkable things, actually, some of the cases can reach almost cure, although we still have a very long way to go. So in a short way to say that, I think research is really the key to driving the knowledge for drug development.
Thank you, Dr. Guan. We can start. Second part of question number 2, second shooting. As an innovation platform stemmed from Tsinghua University, the leading institution in science and technology in China, how do you think Tsinghua Pharmaceutical Innovation Center, TPIC, can drive innovation to close the gaps and further help advance the pharmaceutical industry?
Because future pharmaceutical industry is heavily dependent on research and development. And given the relatively low R&D budget from the China, the Chinese pharmaceutical industry, clearly, China need investment in pharmaceutical research, and probably the government would be one of the, maybe should invest in the future pharmaceutical industry. Now, as a leading research institution in China, TPIC in Tsinghua, I think have multiple role can play to leading the future pharmaceutical research. First, of course, I think most important is talent. We need to recruit people. Second is resource. And the third would be the system, how the efficiently run the system. And this clearly Tsinghua has has ability and the resource to do that. Now, because the basic research relatively is weak in China in the industry, so Tsinghua clearly can not just fill that vacuum, maybe leading the entire pharmaceutical research in China by set up recruit the most prominent scientists, set up the most active, exciting research development environment, and maybe results in collaboration with the industry, the private industry. And on top of that, of course, training people, training future generation of scientists, which is obviously, is the responsibility of the higher education institutions. And Tsinghua clearly should be play a leading role.
Thank you. Question number 3, second round. TPIC is committed to accelerate translational research and the development of new drugs. Since you have rich experience in translation medicine, could you please share some learning and advices?
So I spent most of my, virtually all my scientific career in universities, academic research institution. So I only had a limited interaction with the industry. But based on my experience, I think that a few things are pretty clear. First, you need innovation. You need new ideas. You need to identify new targets, which clearly should be the responsibility of academic research institution. Second, the knowledge we gain should have translational potential, namely can relate to disease or potentially identify targets or development for disease treatment. Again, these should be largely relying on academic research, but clearly we have options or partnership with industry. Now, once we have good ideas and a good target, in order to develop a drug, that clearly needs the involvement of biotech companies or pharmaceutical companies, because these involve the detailed, systematic development, which is hard to accomplish in academic institution, given the limited resource or the interest of the people in academic environment. Because for my postdoc or students, their main interest for publications instead of to figure out the details. Now, in order for, let's say, give an example for pharmaceutical industry, in order for that to success, you need to find a good partnership, you need to find the resource, as well as I found persistence is really, really important. You cannot easily give up. If you believe it is, believe yourself or believe the target, you should keep working on that.
Thank you. Any additional information you would like to add regarding this question?
Obviously, for Tsinghua to establish an vibrant research. No.
Question number 4, second round. Dr. Guan, is there any additional thoughts or wishes for TPIC?
I'm so glad that Tsinghua University made a commitment to establish the Tsinghua Pharmaceutical Innovation Center. I think their start was, they already had a great start. They recruited one of the best scientists, Ding Sen, to leading that efforts. Now, I'm sure Tsinghua will excel, but obviously, the key for future success is, again, talent, means recruiting the best people is available to working together. Second, they should provide the best resource, technology, build a platform for people to working together. And the third is, to translate their discovery to the industry. That's obviously need a collaboration with the industry. And I'm sure Tsinghua will do very well in these. And in the same process, and equally important, I hope Tsinghua will train the best pharmaceutical research and the leaders in the future, not just in country, in China, maybe in the whole world. I'm sure Tsinghua will excel.
Thank you, Dr. Guan. Very good.